All right, qualifying is over. It is time to go racing. Giancarlo and Max Gunther have the front row. Nick Sorensen and Yuho have the second. Simon Zierk and Yannick Gunther have the third row. Adam Barker, Mike Dolling on the fourth row. Paul Dolling and Jason Miller rounding out the top 10. Ronald Maynard and Mark Dantuma round out the field at Suzuka this morning. Drivers getting lined up, ready to go here. Looks like several drivers getting their setups dialed, getting the correct amount of fuel for the 20-minute sprint race here, followed by the 40-minute endurance race. Just waiting on one or two more cars, then that Porsche pace car will lead them around the back half of the track. This track just about 3.6 miles. And a lot of tricky, tight turns here this morning, including the chicane right before the end of the lap, and of course coming up the hill through the S's after turn one. Giancarlo leads them through the chicane, pace car getting ready to pull off. Here they come out of that final turn. Giancarlo leads them down. They fire. Green is in the air. And they're already three wide back behind as Yuho shoots to the outside. Yuho trying to make a move up the outside. Couldn't get there on the start. Janet Gunther moves up one spot into fifth up on the start. Everybody coming up through the S's. Giancarlo in the lead. Max Gunther staying with him in second. Yuho in third. Nick Sorensen in fourth. Yannick Gunther running in fifth. Adam Barker right behind Mike Dolling, trying to find a way by him. Adam still has the points lead, but Sorensen has been closing up, and Sorensen has the advantage here this morning after having done the endurance race here yesterday. Could Sorensen claim the points lead? Giancarlo running the same paint scheme as Team Dolling here this morning. Newbie, you guys should come run this. Oh, we've got one of the... Looked like Yannick Gunther got a little wide out of the chicane. And after lap one, Giancarlo still holds the lead. Max Gunther in second, Yuho in third, Nick Sorensen in fourth, Yannick Gunther in fifth. Simon Zierk, Mike Dolling, Adam Barker, Jason Miller, and Paul Dolling rounding out the top 10. Mark Dantuma has had an incident. Looks like Mark headed towards spoon turn, just goes a little bit wide. Car gets a little out of shape, but he manages to hold on to it. Everybody staying single file. You heard Giancarlo say it is a tough track to pass. A limited number of passing opportunities on this one. Adam Barker was trying to find a way around Mike Dolling. Now there's a little bit of space between the two BMW. Looked like Adam might have gotten a little squirrely there, but manages to hold on to it. Giancarlo leads him back through the chicane, back toward the start-finish line to complete the second lap. Giancarlo's practice laps and qualifying laps a second faster than everybody else. It's going to be an interesting morning. And for race number 2, they will invert the top 7, so if Giancarlo wins, he's going to have a lot of traffic to come through. Good morning, Richie. How's it going, buddy? Max Gunther sitting in second, Yuho back in third, Nick Sorensen in fourth, Yannick Gunther in fifth. No major changes for position, nobody charging yet. Giancarlo just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:56.98. In practice and in qualifying, Giancarlo was the only driver to get under the 1:57 mark. Adam Barker has had a problem. Points, oh, he just clips too much of the curb, goes a bit wide, then overshoots the next one, gets a little bit of the wall. He's going to lose a couple of spots on this one. Well, it does not look like Adam took any significant damage on the left side. A little bit of body damage to the left side, but doesn't seem to have slowed him down at all. How'd you guys do, Richie? Giancarlo out front now by almost 2 seconds over Max Gunther. Nick Sorensen all over the back bumper of the lone Mercedes of Yuho. Yannick Gunther still riding in 5th. Simon Zierk in 6th. Newbie, how did you guys do yesterday, buddy? Adam Barker still back in 8th, is pulled away from Jason Miller again in 9th. Jason had almost overtook him after Adam's incident, coming right through that section. Paul Doling riding in 10th. Ronald Maynard, the lone Lambo, running in 11th. Mark Dantuma back in 12th. I'm guessing based on Newbie's earlier comment, things did not go well yesterday. Max Gunther currently rides in second and has the second fastest lap by quite a bit, and still unable to catch up at all with Giancarlo. Giancarlo's leading now over 2 seconds. Nick Sorensen with the third fastest lap, still trying to find a way around the Mercedes of Yuho here. Obviously that Porsche much better handling through the tight corners, but the Mercedes power and stability definitely benefiting Yuho here. Simon Zierk following Yannick Gunther around. Yannick trying to close up on Sorensen and Yuho. The points leader, Adam Barker, currently running in 8th place. As they run right now, Nick Sorensen would make up quite a few points here. Simon Zierk looked like he was getting ready to make a move on Yannick. Couldn't get it done yet. Mike Dolling still lurking right behind. Oh, Simon gets loose through the spoon. He goes off track. Simon manages to recover, but let's take another look. Simon obviously goes deeper into the turn. Looks like he just caught too much of the rumble strip. Holds it through the grass. Mike Dolling gets by as he checks it up and gets it rolling again. But Simon losing a lot of ground, and I do believe it's the first time we've caught Simon making a mistake for the better part of this season. Unusual to see a mistake like that out of Simon. Richie, sometimes that is the best you can do, is just getting it done. Last time I ran Daytona, we just kept fighting back and fighting back and fighting back, and that really benefited us, but man, it was a tough race. And we had a lot of bad luck as well. Giancarlo still pulling away. Giancarlo likely to get out to about a 4 to 5 second lead and then just run stable, consistent laps. A lot of drivers talking about, despite the cooler temperature this morning on a track, having to be careful not to plow the front end and tear up the tires here. Sorensen still looking for a move on Yuho. He has been on the back bumper since the drop of the green. Has not been able to find a way by yet. Yuho, not having been in the car all season long, comes out and currently running in third, having a great run here this morning. Yannick Gunther currently runs in 5th, has pulled away from Dolling in 6th. Simon Zierk now in 7th. Adam Barker back in 8th. Jason Miller currently runs in 9th, Paul Doling in 10th, Ronald Maynard 11th, and Mark Dantuma closing up on him in 12th. Looks like Paul Doling had an incident a moment ago. Same type of thing we saw at Adam Barker, just gets too deep into that corner, but managed to gather it up really quickly. Giancarlo back through the chicane, now has almost a 3-second lead on Max Gunther. Yuho and Nick Sorensen the closest battle on track at the moment, but Simon Zierk is close back up onto Mike Doling. Yannick Gunther has had a crash. Coming down through the spoon corner, gets into the... Oh, same thing we saw to Simon a few laps ago. Yannick manages to get it woed up, backs it off track to let everybody get by. That does allow points leader Adam Barker to get back up into 7th place. If he can hold that, he will start out front for race 2. Meanwhile, Giancarlo's lead now over 3 seconds on Max. Yuho back in 3rd. 4th place is still Sorensen. Sorensen obviously has had a fast car, can close right up, has made a few attempts to look going into a turn, but hasn't been able to carry the momentum. Mike Doling, meanwhile, now has has Simon Zierk right back to the back bumper. Adam Barker back in 7th place. Yannick Gunther, after that incident, currently running in 8th, trying to close the gap on Barker. Paul Doling currently running in 9th, Jason Miller in 10th. There you see the gap from Giancarlo back to Max Gunther, now 3.5 seconds. Giancarlo just continuing to pull away. Meanwhile, Sorensen right on the back bumper of Yuho, tried to make a move through turn 1, loses the back end completely. Sorensen loses several spots, now back into 6th. Adam Barker now just 1.25 seconds behind. Sorensen had been trying like crazy to get around Yuho. And this is the points battle as well. Nick Sorensen came into this morning 2nd in points. Adam currently leads the points. Nick was looking to make up quite a few points here in race 1. But after that incident, he is not going to gain more than 1 or 2. Yannick Gunther closing in on both of them. Now has a unique opportunity here. Yannick came into this morning 12th in points. Just 10 points out of 10th. He'll actually hop into 10th in points this morning. But with passing both of the leaders, that would definitely tighten up the points significantly. And Adam Barker is definitely looking to take advantage of the misfortune of Sorensen. He is all over that back bumper. Yuho, meanwhile, sits in third with a bit of breathing room now. Max Gunther sits in second, but he is 4 1/4 seconds now behind Giancarlo. Giancarlo definitely coming back with a bang. Jason Miller has had an incident. Down through the spoon corner again. Jason manages to get it moved off of the track. Ronald Maynard, Mark Dantuma come by. Spoon curve definitely taking some casualties this morning. Has already claimed several victims. Giancarlo heads into the chicane, should be getting white flag this time. Giancarlo definitely came to race this morning, letting everybody know he is back. Giancarlo has only raced 3 weeks out of this season, so 6 total races, has won 4 of the races he's been in coming into this morning. A 66% win percentage ain't too shabby. Max Gunther currently runs in second place. He's going to make up some ground on Nick Sorensen this morning. And Yuho, in his triumphant return, currently runs in third. Giancarlo coming down one more time, about to complete race 1. Yuho in the lone Mercedes runs third, Doling in fourth. Simon Zierk has been on his bumper. And Giancarlo comes through the chicane, through the final turn. Onto the straight. Giancarlo is going to win race number 1 here this morning. Max Gunther comes down. He'll finish second. And Yuho, in his first race this season, comes home third. Let's see if we can talk to our top 3, starting with Yuho. Hey, Yuho, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug. I got you.
Hey, buddy. First race of the season, you come home with a podium finish. You got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's a pretty good one, I think. Yeah.
You had quite a battle going on there with Nick for a bit until Nick made a mistake in turn 1. How do you feel about knowing how that battle went going into race 2? How you feeling your chances are?
Not that great. Nick was obviously faster than me and just being very gentleman with those couple of tries he had, so he didn't actually knock me out of the track. So I needed to defend pretty much the whole race. So might be that Nick goes somewhere. But let's see. I don't think we got any real pass on this first race. So let's see how it goes on the second one. That it's not an easy track to pass with these cars.
Definitely isn't, but a great run. As always, great to have you, buddy, and good luck in race 2.
Yes, thanks, Doug.
All right, Max Gunther came home in the second. Hey, Max, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey Doug, how you doing?
Hey, I am good, man. You had some really fast laps out there watching the lap times. A couple of times you almost got in the 156s like Giancarlo.
Yeah, but I think the track temperature is really good today, so that helps a lot. And we just did the 10 hours of Suzuka, and yeah, we just got a lot of practice on the track.
Well, it definitely paid off, but now you have to start from back at 6. Can you get through all the traffic, and can you do anything with Giancarlo in race 2?
Well, that track here is really difficult to overtake, so we'll see about that. But Giancarlo has the same problem as me, so we'll see.
I have to say, with that finish, you close up the gap on Nick quite a bit. The points really starting to tighten up going into these last few weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun couple of last weeks to see if I can actually make it past Nick and Adam, I think. Yeah.
Well, you're on the right track today, man. Good luck.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, and Giancarlo, first time back in several weeks. And Giancarlo, congratulations. I just did the math on this. Coming into today, your win percentage was 66%.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. It was a lot of cautious on lap 1. Don't spin the car like I have in the past, and then just try to settle in and run laps.
I have to say, going into race 2, and we talked about it earlier, and everybody has said the same thing. It's going to be very tough to pass here, and you have to start from 7th to charge through here.
Yep, it's going to still be a lot of caution. Make sure that everybody, has space, and we'll see how it goes. It should be a fun one.
Well, congratulations. Your 4th win of the season, and of the 7 races you've done total this season, you've won 4 of them, so good luck in race 2.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
Giancarlo gets the win. Stick around. We'll be back live in 2 minutes. All right, just a few seconds left to go in the warm-up session. Looks like Ronald Maynard is done. Yuo was out there for a few minutes, but has since gone back to pit road. They will have to make a pit stop for fuel during this race. It is a 40-minute endurance race. That is definitely going to benefit the drivers that did the 10 hours. They know how to manage their tires, when to push, when to save, and how many laps they can go on their fuel. So strategy could be a huge factor here this morning. right, here we go. Race number 2. Top 7 invert, putting Adam Barker and Nick Sorensen on the front row. Those are the top 2 in points as well. Simon Zierk, Mike Dolling have the second row. Juho and Max Gunther on the third row. Giancarlo and Yannick Gunther have the fourth row. Paul Dolling, Ronald Maynard rounding out the top 10. Mark Dantuma and Jason Miller rounding out the field. Everybody getting situated on the line. Looks like they're about to start rolling, and it does not look like Ronald Maynard is going to make the grid. No, Ronald Maynard not making the grid here this morning. Had a top 10 run in race number 1. Hopefully he will be able to start from pit road. Adam Barker leads him through the chicane. He controls the start. 40 minutes, 1 pit stop, and they have got to make those tires last. And here we go down the front straightaway. Watch for the dogfight for positions here as they go green. Mid-pack, they're 3 wide. Juho trying to make a move down to the inside to turn 1. Juho's got position on Mike Dolling at the moment. The Gunther side by side back behind. Oh! Yannick gets the grass and goes around. He backs it into the wall. Adam currently has the lead. Nick Sorensen in second. Simon Zierk in third. Juho to fourth. Mike Dolling back to fifth. Max Gunther currently sixth. Giancarlo still riding along in seventh. Paul Dolling sits in 8th. Jason Miller 9th. Mark Dantuma running in 10th. Ronald Maynard did start from pit road, currently in 11th. Yannick Gunther gets it gathered up. He is in 11th. Ronald Maynard in 12th, excuse me. Adam Barker, meanwhile, opening up a gap on Nick Sorensen on lap 1. Paul Dolling has crashed. Oh, Spoon Curve has claimed another victim. Those rumble strips on the outside can get a bit violent. Heard some of the drivers talking in practice. There is a fine line with how far you can go onto those rumble strips. Some of them actively trying to avoid that. Simon Zierk currently sits in 4th, Juho in 5th, Dolling in 6th. Giancarlo back in 7th, has been unable to get past Max Gunther in 6th so far. Max Gunther currently looking for a way. Oh, look at this move to the inside on Dolling. We saw him setting up through that section of track, but now he's got the outside through the hairpin. can't get it done, but does he open the door for you, or for Giancarlo? Giancarlo doesn't take it, and here he goes again. Max Gunther going to try and pin Mike down through Spoon Curve. They've got to be careful. And now Max will have the momentum advantage out of the turn. Max takes a position. Can Giancarlo? Giancarlo slips to the inside. Doling tries to make a move to block. Oh no! Max is around. Hard into the wall. Let's take another look. He just gets loose, hard hit into the wall. Max Gunther did go to pit road for repairs. Sorensen currently sits second. Adam still leads. Simon Zierk, though, all over the back bumper in third. Yuho sits in fourth. And now it's a battle between Doling and Giancarlo up through the S's. Gutsy move by Giancarlo. Can he make it work? Side by side, inches apart at times. Giancarlo's just got to send it a little bit deeper into the next few corners, but Mike Doling pulls back ahead. Mike Doling still holds fifth, Giancarlo in sixth. Nick Sorensen, meanwhile, just set the fastest lap of the race and has closed that gap that Adam Barker had early. Adam opened up over a 1 second lead on lap 1. Sorensen has come alive. Meanwhile, Giancarlo and Mike Doling back at it, and Giancarlo finally gets it done. Can Mike Doling cross back over and reclaim the position? Down through the chicane, Doling able to stay right on Giancarlo's bumper. But Giancarlo now over 3, almost 4 seconds behind Yuho. And Adam Barker still in the lead. The top 4 practically nose to tail here. Max Gunther has completed his stop. However, I don't know if he was able, if it was late enough into the run that he got fuel he needed to get to the finish. So we may see Max back on pit road at some point. Adam and Nick having a battle, as well as Simon and Yuho. Seen Yuho peek out a couple of times. Giancarlo in 5th is now closing down the gap. It's now down to under 3 1/4 seconds to that lead pack. Adam Barker using every bit of track and runoff he can here to hold the lead. Yuho down to the outside on Simon Zierk. Can he hold it? Yuho goes a little wide but pulls ahead. Simon Zierk now back to 4th, and while they battle, Giancarlo really closed up. Giancarlo less than 2 seconds behind Simon now. While they battled, it also allowed Adam Barker and Nick Sorensen to pull away. But Giancarlo just set the fastest lap of the race so far by a large margin. Half a second faster than Nick Sorensen's fastest lap. Ronald Maynard has had an incident. Ronald in the lone Lambo comes down through the, oh, just loses the back end. Same problem we saw out of Max Gunther a bit ago. Ended up towing to pit road, a heartbreaking run for Ronald. Wow, Simon Zierk was way wide there. Simon using every bit of track and then some, trying to stay with Yuho. Giancarlo has got that gap down to 3/4 of a second as he closes in on the lead pass. Adam Barker, Nick Sorensen still have a little bit of a gap behind him. Yuho 1.5 seconds back. Simon Zierk just behind him, and Giancarlo has caught Simon. As we've seen, though, it is tricky to pass here. Adam Barker still out front, leading the points. Nick Sorensen in second, also second in points. Giancarlo all over the back bumper of Simon Zierk as they pull away from Mike Dalling back in sixth. Ronald Maynard has repaired that car. He is back out on track. And a driver on the move right now, Mark Dantuma, up to 9th place at the moment, trying to run down Jason Miller in 8th. Dantuma started in 11th, has picked them off one at a time so far. And Adam Barker still holding Nick Sorensen off, but Sorensen, as we've seen, obviously the 10 hours yesterday here benefiting both him and Giancarlo. He is able to get that Porsche through these turns so much quicker. Speaking of Giancarlo, looking for a way past Simon as they come up through the S's. Simon a little wobbly there for a moment. And Giancarlo looks down to the inside. Can he make a move? Can't quite get the nose in here. Yuho is caught up to the top two. Simon Zierk and Giancarlo are closing in as well. And don't forget, they will have to make a fuel stop at some point. Yuho, who has not ran with the group this season as a two-time past champion, always a threat whatever track they go to, especially when he's in that Mercedes. Told us in the past that driving the Mercedes feels like coming home. Adam Barker has not been able to break away and open up any kind of a lead. And about to have four of the fastest GT3 drivers on iRacing up his chuff. Giancarlo still unable to find a way past Simon Zierk. As Adam Barker continues to hold everybody off. Mike Dalling has some breathing room back in 6th. Yannick Gunther in 7th also has some breathing room. Jason Miller in 8th as Mark Dantuma closing in 9th. Paul Dalling back in 10th as Max Gunther all over the back bumper. Max having a rough morning here today. He came into this morning 3rd in points. Finished 2nd in race number 1, but obviously struggling here in race 2. All right, now he's looking to the inside on Mike, trying to pick up 10th. On Paul, excuse me. Giancarlo looked like he was going to make a move into turn 1, couldn't get it done yet. Will he try the move up through the S's again? Simon definitely not leaving him any room to make a run. Oh, Nick Sorensen goes a bit wide. Manages to keep it off the wall, though, as the top 3 separated by half a second each. Mike Dalling back behind in 6, waiting for them to start battling so he can close up. Adam Barker starting to open up just a little bit of room on Nick Sorensen. Here we go. Giancarlo makes a move down to the inside. Simon cuts the runoff. Will Giancarlo make the move this time into turn one? Can't get the nose in. Meanwhile, that gap that Adam was starting to open has closed as Nick Sorensen is pulled back up. Yuho is there as well. Max Gunther has gotten by Mark Dantuma, now up into 9th place. Mark back to 10th. Max now setting his sights on Jason Miller, just 2.5 seconds ahead as they approach the halfway point. Max had to hit pit road for repairs 7 minutes into the race. Could he have gotten enough fuel to make it to the end? Up front, the top three still nose to tail. Simon Zierk, Giancarlo still battling for 4th. Giancarlo, obviously the fastest car out there this morning, but Simon making it impossible to get around. Does he have the run this time? He's got the nose in as they go off into 1. Now it'll be the race up the S as Giancarlo gets ahead. Has not cleared yet. Simon fights back. And Giancarlo finally clears Simon Zierk. He is into 4th. Jason Miller is the first to hit pit road. Giancarlo now into 4th, but 2.5 seconds behind the top 3. Still, pit stops have to be completed here. Mark Dantuma also on pit road. Jason Miller on his way back off pit road. Giancarlo starting to close the gap on the top 3. He is 2.4 seconds back as he crosses the start-finish line. As the sun goes down, the lights come on. Let's see if the track temperature is cut. It has come down. They started the day at 74 degrees, now down to 71 degrees. Air temperature now down to 69 degrees. That is going to help these cars go faster and have more grip. Max Gunther gives up 9th. He's on pit road. As Nick Sorensen started to look for a move on Barker. They start to battle up at the front as Giancarlo closes in. Adam still holds them off, but Sorensen is starting to look for a move to get to the lead. Adam came into this morning with the points lead. Sorensen in second. Adam's got to try and keep Nick behind him. Yuho gives up third. He comes to pit road. Giancarlo now to third. Simon Zierk to fourth. Giancarlo just 1.5 seconds behind this battle for the lead. And it appears Mark Dantuma is out of the race. Giancarlo is just about caught up to him. Expect Giancarlo to stretch the fuel as far as possible, have the shortest stop, and make something happen on pit road. But remember, his teammate for the endurance race here yesterday was right in front of him, Nick Sorensen, currently running in second. Both drivers still trying to find a way around Adam Barker. Adam has led since the drop of the green. Max Gunther came into this morning third in points, currently runs in ninth. He has completed his stop. Yuho, after completing his stop, is in seventh. Giancarlo is on pit road. That is a bit of a surprise to see Giancarlo in early. Adam Barker, Nick Sorensen stay out. Simon Zierk is staying out. Mike Doling stays out. Adam's still trying to find a way to pull away from Nick Sorensen. Opens up a little bit of a gap here and there, but Sorensen definitely has the advantage in the turns, can brake later, get back on the throttle earlier. Giancarlo back off pit road, currently in sixth. The top five have not been to pit road yet. Simon Zierk now back into third. Mike Doling in fourth. Yannick Gunther up to fifth. Giancarlo in sixth. Yuho currently in seventh, trying to gain some ground. He's 3.5 seconds behind Giancarlo at the moment. And Adam Barker gives up the lead. He is on pit road. Sorensen stays out. Simon Zierk gives up third. He is in. Mike Doling comes in fourth. Yannick Gunther comes in fifth. The top five, all but Nick Sorensen, pitted. Sorensen with some clean track ahead, trying to open up a bit of a gap before he comes to pit road. Giancarlo now comes by as they come off pit road. Giancarlo into second place, just ahead of Adam Barker. Yuho back in fourth, Simon Zierk in fifth, Doling in sixth. Yannick Gunther in seventh. Paul Doling is in pit road. Now it all comes down to what happens with Nick Sorensen on pit road. Max Gunther, remember, pitted earlier on due to damage. Looks like he did pit a second time, so he has fuel to the end as he battles Paul Doling. Max now back up to 8th. Sorensen on pit road. Can Giancarlo get there and take the lead? Giancarlo sending it into the chicane. Now Sorensen just hit his pit box. Giancarlo down the front straightaway. Sorensen's leaving pit road. It's going to be close. And it's going to go to Giancarlo. As he goes off into turn one, Sorensen side by side with Adam Barker. Barker pulls ahead for the moment. Sorensen still fighting. Barker moves up into second place, but Sorensen almost gets the back bumper. Yuho back and forth, closing in on Sorensen as well. Meanwhile, Giancarlo quickly opening up a 2-second lead. Adam Barker sits in second, Nick Sorensen in third. If he can't win, Adam Barker needs to keep Sorensen behind him. Adam going for his third consecutive title. Yuho back in fourth place, continuing to run down Nick Sorensen and Adam Barker. Meanwhile, Giancarlo out front continues to pull away. Now has a 2.5-second lead. If Giancarlo wins this race, it'll be his 8th win of the season, and it'll give him a 75% win success rate. It'll also be the second time in just 4 weeks of racing, the second time he has swept both races. Adam Barker running in second, doing exactly what he needs to do to maintain his points lead. Sorensen in third, looking for any opportunity. Yuho back in fourth, trying to close that gap down. Simon Zierk in fifth. Mike Doling currently runs in sixth. Yannick Gunther sits in 7th. Max Gunther now up into 8th. Paul Doling sits in 9th. Jason Miller in 10th. Meanwhile, the battle is on for second place as Adam Barker and Nick Sorensen go at it. Yuho still trying to close the gap, currently 2.9 seconds behind in 4th place. Giancarlo, meanwhile, the 3-second lead. Mike Doling currently running in 6th, Yannick in 7th, Max in 8th. Paul Doling back in 9th, Jason Miller in 10th. Ronald Maynard, who started from pit road in 11th, Mark Dantuma out of the race in 12th. Nick Sorensen still looking for a way past Adam Barker here. Oh, Sorensen is around. Coming through Spoon Curve again. Nick Sorensen around. He's going to drift back to 4th. Yannick Gunther has had an incident. Ronald Maynard at the same time. Yannick goes a little bit wide through there, but manages to save it. What happened with Ronald? Oh, Ronald just overshoots it, but manages to hold on to it. Nick Sorensen, though, has the most problems on that lap. Sorensen now back in 4th, puts Yuho up into 3rd. Adam Barker in 2nd place now has a little bit of breathing room. And Giancarlo out front now, 4 seconds is the lead. It is just Giancarlo doing Giancarlo things around Suzuka. Yuho, meanwhile, trying to close the gap on Adam Barker. Sorensen trying to close back up to get a podium here. Simon Zierk actually gaining a little bit of ground on Nick Sorensen as well. Giancarlo comes through the chicane. Adam Barker holds 2nd, Yuho in 3rd. Yuho's first race back to get 2 podium finishes would be an awesome day for him. Nick Sorensen sits in 4th, Simon Zierk in 5th. Mike Dolling sits 6th, Yannick in 7th. Max Gunther, a rough morning for him, back in 8th place. Is going to lose a little bit of ground to Simon Zierk here this morning. Paul Dolling currently runs in 9th, Jason Miller in 10th. Jason Miller came into this morning 7th in points, just behind Avery Walker. Looks like he'll actually move up into 6th in points, with Avery not being in the race. Giancarlo back through the chicane. Will be getting the white flag this time. His 2nd sweep of the season, his 6th win of the season. One more time around. Adam Barker coming up looking for 2nd place here. Adam has actually yet to have a win this season, but a lot of podium finishes. Have kept him in the points lead. Yuho has closed that gap on Adam down to less than a second, but can he do anything on the last lap here? Ronald Maynard has crashed. Not sure what happened. He suddenly stopped on the back straightaway. Giancarlo coming down that back straightaway. That last few corners just ahead. Giancarlo comes out of the chicane clean, and he is going to sweep the morning at Suzuka. Adam Barker Yuho makes a power move. Yuho to 2nd through the last turn. Adam Barker comes home in 3rd. What a finish. Let's see if we can talk to our top 3, starting with Adam Barker. Hey Adam, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey Doug, how we doing?
Hey, really good. It looked like you had 2nd place locked up there until that last turn.
Yeah, ran out of fuel on the last turn, so car spluttered towards it to the end.
Well, at least you managed to get the podium finish here this morning. Obviously a good points day.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It was a hard race today. Everyone's had lots of practice, and going in cold to the first race was a bit of a struggle, but yeah, we did all right.
Well, congratulations, man. That was a great run there at the end.
Thank you very much.
All right, Yuho managed to come home in 2nd place. And Yuho, did you think you were getting 2nd coming in through the chicane there?
No, well, yeah, I was cutting in there, but actually, Adam, I think he was running out of fuel, so he was really slowing down on that one. So I think I even hit him in the rear. So yeah, that was pretty intense end of the race.
Well, man, it was an awesome race. Obviously, you were running Adam down that last few laps and had a great run all morning long.
Yeah, 2 times podium, not a bad comeback.
No, it definitely was not, and it is great to have you back, man.
Yeah, let's see. I got a pretty heavy autumn, so let's see. Was this a one-time effort? But to be seen. To be seen.
Well, get freed up. We want to see you more, and congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks.
And Giancarlo sweeps the morning. And Giancarlo, do you realize you just moved your win percentage to 75% of the races you show up to?
I did not realize that, but thank you for the stat. That was a lot of fun. Mike and I went side by side through the entirety of the S's, which was just fantastic racing.
Saw that a couple of times, and that was, you guys had some really close moves there, but no issues. Obviously, inches and sometimes millimeters apart, but no touching, and man, it was a great back and forth up through the S's.
Yeah, I loved every second of it. Racing with Mike is a lot of fun. And I was peaking at Simon too into 130R, but I always had to think better of it because I did not trust myself to go side by side through that corner.
Well, man, that was an awesome race. Obviously, the sweep, and having you back this week, you came back and dominated.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
Giancarlo dominates at Suzuka. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to come back tonight. We'll have BRR Cup Series and a lot of great racing there as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you had as much fun as I did. We will see you tonight.